Electing a new president at a distance. This is the aim of a new law passed today by the Catalan Parliament that is setting the pro-independence majority on collision course again with the Spanish government. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. The pro-independence majority in the Catalan Parliament continues its efforts to try to elect a new president. With 4 failed investiture attempts and a deadline of May 22nd to form a new government looming, today they amended the presidency law. The vote sparked outrage amongst unionist parties during a plenary session in which Europe, women's rights and the Catalan leaders in prison were also discussed. Stay with us to find out all about this and to discover a very interesting region in northwest Catalonia, El Solsanas. The Catalan Parliament should be allowed to swear in any of its 135 MPs, even if they cannot attend the session physically because they're in prison or abroad. This is what the pro-independence majority passed today in the chamber in a move aimed at allowing Carles Puigdemont, currently fighting extradition in Germany, to be re-elected as president. Unionist parties criticise the move, saying it is tailor-made for Puigdemont and goes against the constitution, and the Spanish government has vowed again to do whatever it takes to stop it.
Will Puigdemont retake the Catalan presidency while in Germany? Pro-independence parties aren't giving up, but they are running out of time. And today's session in Parliament might have been their last chance to reappoint the deposed leader. Pro-independence parties used their majority to amend the presidency law and allow a swearing-in ceremony at a distance. But the Spanish government vowed to stop them.
El gobierno evitará el fraude de ley y el gobierno, como ha dicho estos días, como anunció estos días, utilizará todas las armas a su alcance, las armas jurídicas, para evitarlo.
Madrid will take the law to the Constitutional Court to suspend it. Yet, it's not clear what pro-independence parties will do if the bill is frozen. Esquerra Republicana says there aren't enough people supporting independence and calls for serious reflection to open a new stage. The first step could be opting for a new candidate in order to, once again, form a government in Catalonia. Whichever actions are taken, though, are likely to be disputed, as today's session in Parliament showed. Controversy from today's plenary comes not only from the issue at hand, but how it was carried out. In fact, pro-independence parties in the chamber used their majority to fast-track the approval of this measure using a single reading, which means that this will only be discussed and voted on once. In fact, unionist parties criticized forces in favor of a Catalan state of misusing this mechanism, saying that it is only appropriate to use for the approval of a law if the law is therefore simple and has unanimous support. Pro-independence forces, for their part, instead argued that this was to defend the rights of all MPs.
Volvemos a ver cómo una mayoría parlamentaria que ni siquiera tiene mayoría de votos en la calle vuelve a intentar pasar por encima de los derechos de la mayoría de los diputados, de los ciudadanos representados en los diputados de la oposició.
Per Catalunya creu molt oportú el procediment de lectura única per aprovar aquests 2 articles de la llei de la presidència. Recordo que ahir se'n van modificar 5 d'articles en una llei i no hi va haver cap problema.
És possible que aquesta llei o aquesta modificació de llei no serveixi per investir a ningú, perquè se la carreguin, com s'han carregat tot el que no els agrada utilitzant els aparells de l'Estat.
Després diran que l'Estat no els deixa, però el cert és que al nostre país no li convé. I ens ho diu el Consell de Garanties Estatutàries de Catalunya i no Madrid.
Si no cal aprovar res ara immediatament per lectura única, perquè vostès saben perfectament que encara que ho aprovin per lectura única, com a molt, els servirà com a mera propaganda per explicar l'inexplicable, que és perquè anem a noves eleccions.
Nosaltres sempre ens posicionarem a favor d'aquelles proposicions de llei que intentin ampliar els drets civils i polítics de tota la ciutadania.
Y oídas las intervenciones hasta este momento, con todos los respetos, podríamos prescindir de todos los letrados del Parlamento.
The session in the Catalan Parliament also saw several resolutions being voted on, setting the tone of this new term. MPs urged the European Union to be a space of understanding, dialogue and mediation, and regretted its failures in protecting refugees trying to cross the Mediterranean. Members of Parliament also rejected the recent Wolfpack ruling that saw 5 men being acquitted of gang raping an 18-year-old girl in Pamplona, saying the ruling was disgraceful. Another of the resolutions passed included a call to release Catalan leaders currently in jail and to allow those abroad to return freely. Catalan politics has been influenced by the Spanish government's intervention of its self-rule following the Declaration of Independence. Almost 300 officials have been fired, one of the last ones being the former Director General of External Affairs. She was sacked after the Catalan Brussels delegation held a cultural event in which a dismissed Catalan minister was allowed to talk. To avoid new dismissals, today Catalans in Brussels organised a poetry event but decided to change the venue. The poetry event held to defend freedom of expression and including readings from several poets and authors from Catalonia was held in a cultural venue far away from the Catalan government delegation in Brussels. 3 deposed Catalan ministers currently seeking refuge in Belgium attended. The organisers decided to change the venue after the delegation employees warned them that the Spanish government had threatened them about holding any political events in their building.
S'estava fent un xantatge perquè es prohibia fer actes polítics i llegir els poemes que llegirem és un acte polític, evidentment polític, perquè protegir la llibertat d'expressió és un acte evidentment polític i no volíem jugar amb aquest xantatge, no volíem censurar-nos.
Let's change topic now. The Basque separatist group ETA has announced its dissolution, and many of the mediators that have participated in the process to disarm this terrorist group have celebrated the decision, saying it's time for peace and reconciliation. The Spanish government celebrated the dissolution of ETA, but President Mariano Rajoy rejected any kind of concession.
Sus crímenes se seguirán investigando, sus delitos se seguirán juzgando y las condenas se seguirán cumpliendo.
If the police stop you when driving in Catalonia, it will almost certainly be one of the Mossos d'Esquadra traffic division officers. Today marks 20 years since the Catalan police began patrolling the roads. Nowadays, the Mossos d'Esquadra have full police powers in Catalonia, and they were internationally praised for their role during the recent Barcelona attacks. But back in May 4th, 1998, they were just starting their presence in the country, with an initial deployment of 250 road officers. Within a year, the Mossos had replaced Spanish police officers. In this time, the Mossos have booked 1.9 million drivers for speeding, more than 320,000 for driving over the alcohol limit, and almost 36,000 for driving under the effects of drugs. Do you know that some of the best restaurants in the world are here in Catalonia? You surely remember El Bulli by Ferran Adrià. He is now preparing a new centre, the Bulli Foundation in Roses. But we also have the 3 Roca brothers. Their Celler de Can Roca is amongst the best in the world and was once #1. The 3 brothers are Joan, Josep and Jordi. The eldest is the chef, the middle one the sommelier, and the little brother the pastry chef. He's been awarded several times for his sweet offerings, and he now has a new project, a big chocolate house in his local town of Girona, which will include a chocolate shop, a pastry and an exclusive hotel. If you're planning on a weekend trip in Catalonia, there's a lot to do, and now one town has launched a campaign to make itself the destination to go to for May.
Take the motorway out of Barcelona and head northwest, and it's not long before you leave the city and its hustle behind. And just over an hour and a half away, hidden in the plains of Lleida, you'll come across one of the country's lesser known areas, Solsona. And today it kicked off its gastronomic month in order to promote tourism in the area, and there's a lot on offer. Here's what one local had to say.
I al maig els Solsanesos és una comarca que està molt maca, està tot molt verd, els arbres ja floreixen, que doncs és una època molt bonica i per contra no s'omplia. També hi ha el tema fires, quasi bé cada cap de setmana, podríem dir, tots els caps de setmana hi ha una fira.
Shunning modernity, the campaign was announced by Trumpet. Throughout the whole of the month, a total of 110 activities will take place with the participation of around 20 tourism agencies, and all sorts to tantalise people's taste buds, such as wine and olive oil tasting. Shops will be displaying their finest wares, from local meats and cheeses to all kinds of goods to keep in your larder. But Solsona's Gastronomic Month is not just about food. As well as sports proposals, there are offers available to visit farms as well as welcome packs for rural accommodation. Visitors will also be able to check out some of the local handicraft and even take in a little piece of history. Solsona town is home to the emblematic Casa Adroguer Nou, one of the oldest drugstores in Catalonia and now a purveyor of wines and more. So if you've made no plans for May, maybe you should consider heading to Solsona.
And with this, we finish today's show. We leave with some images of a concert by the Catalan group Gossos that is starting a new tour and is doing it with the help of many other music groups in the country. Take a look, enjoy, and see you next week.